Hi, welcome to Cooking with Dave. This has been my requested lamb chops video. We're gonna start from just the bare rack, seasoning, prepping. This will be phase one, and then later on we'll go on to phase two. So the best part to do is find a fairly meaty rack. These are from Costco. They have quite a bit of meat. This is about a medium-sized rack. Weight-wise, this is, I think, around 2 pounds. You can go a little bit heavier and it'll be thicker. I find between the two bones, cut the chops.
Make sure your fingers don't get in the way.
Yeah. Use a fairly sharp knife. And I find for these, I let them sit in the fridge and cut straight from the fridge because the meat and the fat will be cold and much easier to cut through. So once these are all cut, I'll arrange them on cookie sheet or tray, anything you feel like. Then for seasoning, I use garlic lovers, herb salt, and regular garlic lovers by Flavor God. Since these will sit for a while to let the seasoning soak in, you can put quite a bit on here. You could not over season these. Once they go on a grill, any excess seasoning will burn off. So what I like to do is at an angle season, because then the seasoning gets on the underside, and then when I flip these, on the top side. Since this is the garlic salt one, I don't really go heavy on that. The garlic lovers.
So why do you use two different garlic seasonings? Why not just use one, like the garlic lovers, and then use salt?
The garlic and herb, this is garlic and herb. It has other stuff in there. It also has chunks of garlic. So as it gets lower, I'll open up the thicker side and use that, and actual little pieces of garlic will come out. Versus the garlic lovers is just a more garlicky mix. I've done them separately, and the main person who eats these seems to like them the most when I do it this way, so I don't mess with perfection.
Who was that?
That would be my camera lady, my wife. So again, that way you get it on the actual the side surface and the top, not overly salted. And then come back with the garlic lovers. And again, so even though you're using a lot of seasoning on this, it doesn't have the same potency as if you, let's say, freshly crushed garlic. So as it sits here, I'll cover it, let it sit out at room temperature for about 4 hours, and you'll see when we come back, the color of the seasoning has gotten a lot darker because it's actually absorbed into the meat and is not as powdery as this, and then it'll be ready to throw on the grill. I'll continue this shortly. Thank you.
Okay.
Welcome back to Cooking with Dave. So we're ready to put the lamb chops on. As you can see, the seasoning doesn't look as bright and yellow. It's ready to go. put the
Speak up, please, because we can't hear you since we're outside.
I let the grill get as hot as it can, all 4 burners going full strength. So I put them on the bottom. Now they're not going to cook on the bottom. This is just a quick sear. So close it, let it get nice and hot. It'll sit like this for maybe 30 seconds. Then I'll flip them over, do the other side, and then move them to the top. One thing to keep in mind, because the lamb chops do have some fat, it'll drip, so you're in for a smoke show. So just be careful not to set your grill on fire, because especially with a gas grill, when it lands on the bottom of the grates, it for sure will light up.
Have you done that before?
Every time. It's just part of the cooking. So, as you can see,
Are we gonna get a fireworks show?
we might. It just won't be orange.
Not orange, then what color? Black.
Very likely. So, just a little bit on each side just to get some char lines. Make sure your grill is clean, but if you use your grill a lot, it will be seasoned, so you will still get some good char lines. Then once 15-20 seconds on the second side, move them up to the top.
I say less than 15 to 20 seconds.
It's okay, because I'm leaving it the same side that was down. I'm leaving it down to cook. We're gonna leave it like this for a little bit, flip it over a few times. You kind of learn to do it based on how hot your grill gets, and from experience with how thick your lamb chops are. So we will stop recording right now. Once they're close to being done, we will pick back up.
Okay, go.
Okay, so we're maybe 5-6 minutes into cooking total, and I flipped them a few times. As you can see, it's dripping and burning. This is close to the finish you want on them. If you like a little bit of more char, you can put them on the lower grill for a bit. So what you want to make sure is you have enough space on the top grill whenever you have the fat flames like this. You want to move them. Also, what I'll do during the cook, just to make it even, one of the times when I flip, I'll actually flip them like this, just to make sure that while it's closed, it's getting an even cook. So it's pretty close to done, and in a minute or so we'll pull them off, serve up a plate, and show you the final product. Thank you. So here we have, on the thinner ones, they're ready to come off. The fat is dripping nicely. It's also a good indicator of when it's pretty much ready. This one is kind of thicker, and this probably just needs just a little bit more. But all of these thinner regular ones, they're good to go.
Are these Chernobyl chops?
These are medium Chernobyl chops, and I nicknamed the Costco chops Chernobyl chops because sometimes they look like lamb chops. Sometimes they're big enough to where it's very likely the lamb came from Chernobyl and was almost the size of a cow. I've had some that the chop is literally about this long. It looks like a miniature tomahawk. They don't glow in the dark, unfortunately. We've tried. You can't get them to glow. I'm sure if you sprinkle a little bit of uranium or plutonium on them, it might. So I think these are done. Turn off the grill. And let the flame burn itself out. And we are good, and these are the chops in about 5 or 6 minutes. Easy, no mess, no fuss. Mary might be mad. She had a little lamb, but we're gonna eat it, and it's gonna be delicious. Thank you. And this is the final product, ready to go. Cheesy avocado, garlic avocado, and the lamb chops.